A priori is relating to or denoting reasoning or knowledge which proceeds from theoretical deduction rather than from observation or experience. Meanwhile, a posteriori describes knowledge based solely on experience or personal observation. A priori knowledge requires an a priori justification or a good reason for a person to believe something that has nothing to do with experience. Laws of logic is one of those a priori tools to justify a belief in something or someone that has nothing to do with experience, such as God. My question is, are the classical laws of logic as a priori tool already enough to conclude that God is indeed a priori knowledge or a knowledge that is not experiential? Well, although laws of classical logic work most of the time in the macro world, and thus we can use these laws in identifying whether a proposition is a priori, it does not work well in the micro world, such as the quantum realm. One example is quantum superposition. This phenomenon does not obey the excluded principle of the classical laws of logic, not to mention the liar paradox. And so, since these classical laws of logic are not sufficient to explain known reality, such as the quantum world, how sure are you that it can know an even higher reality, such as God, which is beyond our experience, when it does not even describe the known reality of the quantum world? Well, if I'm going to be really honest, we really can't know. This is because the laws in classical logic are rules invented by humans for a game of communication. For this reason, these rules may not necessarily correspond to what is happening in reality or what is true. If we abide by these rules, then we can be comfortable that we are making valid deductions and that our conversations are rational. They are necessary in the sense that we need rules in the game of communication, just as we need rules when we play chess. The rules in chess are not true or false, but we agree to abide by them so that we can have a meaningful game. Likewise, what is logical and/or illogical may not necessarily be true or false in reality. Case in point is the quantum superposition. Due to this, the laws of logic may not be sufficient to prove that God's existence is a priori knowledge. In short, even if you can justify that God exists using the classical laws of logic, it's not a guarantee that it really is the truth. Ultimately, it can only be guaranteed using faith, which is confidence in a hope that God indeed exists.